Hello and welcome to the Bare Knuckle Fin. We're going to do about 500 words each on 5 different swamp biomes over 5 videos. This is our first. The Bare Knuckle is a small swamp fed primarily by runoff from adjacent hill country and a fairly significant winter rain cycle. It's temperate here, hot in the summer but not crazy hot. It's humid though, and that's worse. The swamp usually doesn't freeze, but it gets pretty frosty for a few weeks during the first months of the year. The bugs are bad, but not compared to most swamps. Cold weather keeps bigger, longer-lived insects and spiders at bay. It controls the mice, and even makes it hard for reptiles. The bare knuckle fin is also known as the burning waters. The summers are relatively dry, despite the amount of groundwater. The heat dries out vegetation, and the shrubbery becomes tender. Every few years there's a major fire taking out a significant chunk of the flora and fauna here. Bears are the top of the normal food chain here. Brown bears, nothing too significant for a fantasy world. Poisonous snakes are an issue when it's warm. If you go caving in the winter, you might find their dens. Deer are a common food source for the bears. You can find raccoon and other common North American animals as well. As a world builder or a DM, or a world building DM, you're going to place something like the bare knuckle near your adventurer's home base. Maybe it's a few miles from their home village or an obstacle between their city and the next. They're going to see it on a map and wonder, hey, what's there? Maybe they're in a long pursuit and can catch up with the bad guys if they get a good run through the swamp. Personally, I'm going to put some undead in it. Will-o-wisps, wights, and zombies. When the party is second or third level, I'll entice them to go hunting for the undead menace. A simple bounty or reward would usually suffice. It'll become a bigger problem as time passes. When the party is 4th or 5th level, we'll tie in some necromantic cult to go along with it. You don't have to make it overcomplicated, unless you want to. I mean, if you think about it, maybe some lost family member from a backstory is found as a member of the cult. Perhaps they hear of a traveling band of sinister baddies who travel the lands, establishing a ghoul-worshipping cult. Of course, by that time, you've outgrown your little swamp, and by now the black dragons have probably moved in anyway. In closing, let's give our swamp its own disease. Anyone exposed to the air here for more than 6 hours has to make a con save, let's say DC 14. On a success, they're safe for the visit, as their body has successfully put up defenses against the disease energies. On a failure, the bare knuckle disease has begun to set in. The character notices a little pain in their hands. The next day, those hands have become discolored, and action requiring the use of them is at disadvantage. Untreated, the character gains a second save after 3 full days of discomfort. On a successful medicine check, they get a second save immediately. Magic, such as cure disease or lesser restoration, counts the same. Greater resto is a full cure, taking only moments for a full recovery. On a failed second check, the character's hands degenerate even farther, and their hit point max starts falling a point a day until the disease is cured. It's up to the DM how brutal they want to be. Ultra grimdark, and those hit points might only come back with a wish, or the character might literally lose a finger. Yeah, what a great note to end on. We're going to do 4 more of these swamp settings over the next few weeks, and this is the format. If you're a regular listener, you're probably going to hear about bare knuckle disease again in a short. Now do that stuff. My fate is in your hands. Hitting the like button helps. Subbing and commenting helps even more. If you do nothing, I'm still glad that you stopped by. All of you are important parts to this world. Or simulation. Haven't ruled that out yet. Oh, you're still listening. Cheers!